Hi everyone. So it's the winter solstice, and in Japan it's just turned to the 22nd. It's just past midnight. First off, I have a new double LP called Beyond Silence, which is actually a number of improvisations I did over the course of a month or two, something like this, in the studio and at home and in different places. That when I think back to the times I was doing them, I wasn't having the easiest time. And when I think about this past year, it has not been an easy year for me personally. It hasn't been an easy year for many people, I think. But particularly, it's I don't know. I could say it particularly felt like a rough year, but then I could say that every year since 2019 has been a rough year for me, actually. Since coming to Tokyo, especially, I've not had any sort of time where I could say, "Oh, that was a good year," or "I've really enjoyed myself this year," or "Things got better after all, finally. Oh, I knew that if I stuck it out, things would improve." That hasn't happened in 5 years. So, which is not to say that there haven't been bright spots, good moments, things I'm thankful for, people I've met, I guess like this kind of thing. I mean, those things, yeah. Creatively, Tokyo's been fantastic, but not due to external things. In other words, it's not because of Tokyo, it's not because of the music scene or anything like that. It's actually rather because life has been hard and I've been isolated, and that's caused me, in a sense, to focus almost exclusively outside of teaching, which is also, for me, somewhat creative, which is a good thing. Just focus on music and making stuff. And because I don't have a partner, and because I don't have many friends, and because I'm not very social, frankly, apart from doing a few live shows every here and there, now and then, and the live shows, the prep for the live shows usually, well, if I have a live show coming up, or if I've had live shows coming up, that motivates me to prepare new video backing, and then sometimes from that I end up doing new things, or making literally new recordings, or starting new projects. So that's usually a good thing. But personally speaking, as far as finances, as far as relationships, as far as those kinds of things, I've not had a great year yet. I've had, like I said, good things have happened, and I've gotten additional work and additional things and offers here and there, so that I can almost pay my bills most of the time, kind of thing. I mean, it's not that bad, but the taxes are going up and up and up and up, and I'm still part-time with no benefits. So it's been rough in that way. And of course I moved out and moved back in here, and that was exceedingly, for me, kind of stressful, and I succumbed to a bit of anger and annoyance at the situation, and that was not so good for my health, which is normally not that strong. Like, when I say not strong, I mean I've got energy to do things. I'm a pretty energetic person overall, and the way that I create and make stuff and teach, and I'm good, but I have a number of health issues that have gotten, I'd say since 2020, have been worse overall, and in recent weeks have been not good. And I've felt pretty despondent lately, in some ways, because I don't really see. It's like every time I think there's a light, there's no light, or it feels that way. Or it's, everything's in the mind, right? So it's like I'm creating, I guess, the viewpoint that, it's maybe this old pattern of thinking that I've had, that I've worked so hard to not fall into the trap, because I know it's a trap and what it is. And I know my mind, I can sort of take a step back from it sometimes and take a meta view of the self, of the mind, and say that's not really the way it is, But when you're just struggling to, in so many ways, like with health and with this and with that and the money and the this and the that, and you're doing it alone, and you're quite literally alone most of the time, and you don't want to lean on people because from past experience that has been absolutely the thing that nearly ruined you again and again, and having been taken advantage of or lied to, or just simply manipulated, or where people will just say one thing and do another, or not come through on the thing. One becomes sort of by nature, and due to one's previous and repeated experiences, and again, I'll try again and again the same thing, and again I'll try again, right? One will be kind of stupid, as it were, to not learn from that mistake and do it again. So, yes sir, I'd like another kick in the mouth, please, right? We don't do this unless we're completely masochistic. So, coming from a bit of that viewpoint, I've become almost excessively independent and stubborn about my independence, and that comes with a price tag, and the price tag is this, and it's in a way not really opening up as much, and not trusting as much, and not only preferring but choosing 9 times out of 10, or probably more than 9 times out of 10 actually, to be alone, or to do things myself without asking for help, or without getting involved either too much, which isn't to say that I don't try and show people kindness when kindness is required or appropriate. I certainly do, and without expectation, because again, from experience, actually being too kind is very, very dangerous. And I tend to actually fall on that side of things, and where I've been taken advantage of too many times, because I've been too kind and naive. So I've right, you create the shell a bit, and sometimes you can open that up a bit and let some of the, because if you don't take any chances, and you don't open up at all, then you're certainly not going to have any real relationships either, and you're not going to learn or grow. But and I have digestive things, so that's why I'm, my stomach, and I can't eat much these days, and even light things I eat, I might feel okay after I've eaten, but then 20 minutes later I don't, or something, and then I don't feel well for like several hours. So on the health side too, you know, I don't enjoy eating. I can't eat much, and I don't have much hope for my situation because it's not improving, it's getting worse rather than better. And doctors are not helpful, and all of the different things I've researched and done seems not enough, at least right now, in this phase I'm in now, which is that I'm having fairly serious health issues. When I say serious, I don't mean cancer or anything like this, but just they affect me daily, and they really affect me, and they in turn affect my mental state, and that then becomes a very much a vicious cycle. And then I'm less inclined to, like, say, go out and do things or eat, right, or drink and eat and be merry when I'm not feeling well in the first place. And so whatever, you know, if I was hesitating before and I say, oh, what the heck, you know, now it's like I hesitate, and if I don't feel well or I don't want to eat because I know it'll make me ill, then I really just, you know, further, okay, well, and then it becomes this, like I say, it's the snake biting its own tail in these cycles of, you know, hell, basically. And I think a lot about death and dying every day, not suicidal, but I do, because of my health situation and because things don't seem to ever improve in my life in some ways. I'm, like I say, I have work and I enjoy my job is not particularly stressful to me in a way, because I enjoy teaching, and I can talk off the cuff and I can teach off the cuff. I don't need to spend excessive hours prepping, to be honest. Grades take time, and that's whatever, it's part of the job, but grading essays and stuff. But basically I enjoy my job, despite the fact that, as I say, it doesn't have much stability or benefits. But, and of course I get tired sometimes because I'm traveling every day. I'm at another school, and the trains are really crowded and really stressful. That's the most stressful part, probably, is commuting in Tokyo. But, you know, and I come home and I'm exhausted, or, you know, I can't enjoy eating, or it makes me sick. So then, you know, I don't sleep well and I don't feel well when I wake up, and it's a vicious cycle. And so then I don't particularly want to go out and be social. And the times that I do, it's this thing where, you know, generally it's not fun, or it's not worth my time or my money or my efforts. And if I'm not feeling well, then especially I don't want to do it. So it's a vicious cycle this year. And at the end of the year now, I am feeling it really strongly. And it's like, here we go again, you know? The end of the year, I'm here alone for Christmas and New Year's and the whole thing again. Year number 5. Since I came to Tokyo in 2019, and I left my now ex-girlfriend in summer of 2020. So I guess, yeah, so since 2020, I've been alone. And going on right 2025. So, music keeps me sane or semi-sane. It gives me something to live for, to make it. And although I don't have many listeners, although I don't make any money from it, although I don't perform live as much because it's just too much prep and trouble, and usually coming from work somewhere and dragging my equipment and, you know, editing all the video. Like I say, it has the good aspect that I might create some new things as part of that process, but you know, I get to the live house, and if I can even do a sound check depending on my work schedule, and then just to do 30 minutes and basically get little to no feedback oftentimes from anyone, and then pay. Sometimes I have to pay to use the equipment at the live house if people don't come to the show, which usually they don't, or only one person might show up, or nobody might show up, and then I'm usually in the red, and then I come home and it's late and I'm tired, and I usually, you know, like 9 times out of 10 I have to work the next day and teach early in the morning or something. I don't find it exceedingly you know, like beneficial or fun, or, you know, so I don't really do much of that anymore. From time to time I do it just to, you know, to keep myself from just being completely making music in isolation, because mostly I make it in this room. Occasionally I go, you know, I'll do sessions in the studio if I want to play the drums, or if I want to really, you know, play the electric guitar and really just let it rip, as it will, you know, as it were, the sound, or, you know, make some real noise. I can make noise in my room at a low level and record it and mix it and make it sound noisy if I want to do that, but sometimes I just want to make noise when I'm improvising and just really, right? So I go to the studio for that, again, alone. I usually book it for 3 hours, and it's reasonable. It's like less than a live show usually costs, and it's certainly less stressful. And I come back with recording and can do. Music is not a social thing for me, and I've noticed, or I know, or I see, it seems to be a social thing for most people. I know, and they do. Some people get addicted to it because just it's social. So they perform and their buddies are there, or they're performing with their buddies if they're in a band or a unit. And generally speaking, I do it solo now since Tokyo, and generally speaking, there aren't people who come to the shows, and generally speaking, you know, it's just for me. So it keeps me sane. It gives me a reason to live and continue to fight for life with all of my physical and other issues, because really I don't have anything else to look forward to. And I enjoy teaching, as I say, but it's not, if I didn't have the creative part, I'd be dead. At least figuratively, I'd be a zombie. I wouldn't have any energy to do anything, I think, without that. So it's a lifesaver. But yeah, I'm not feeling well these days. Not well, and I'm thinking, you know, when's death coming for me? Because I'm some days I just feel like I don't want to do it anymore, you know? It just gets tiring. But then I go back to making or listening to the music I've made, or other music I enjoy, or something like this, and then, you know, I put my mind back in order and I say, come on, man, you're okay, you're still fine. However crappy I may feel, or however difficult things get, and however hopeless things seem, I'm still here for now. So I'll end the talk there, 20 minutes. I just felt it necessary to talk, and my heater's blowing, and the sound will be in the video, but it's too cold without it. So, all right, I'm signing off. It's Saturday night, or actually Sunday morning, the 22nd. Happy solstice. Beyond Silence should be on streaming services now. Thank you. Till the next. Marc Lowe.